Yeah, I'm really excited about my OnlyFans. You know, I was a stripper for a long time, and I feel like it's like a digital strip club. Like, it's just fun for me. I feel like I'm going back to my roots, and like, you know, I think that a lot of people don't like to admit it, but like, for example, when I was a stripper, the reaction I used to get when I went on stage, you don't really get that reaction anymore as a famous person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you get a reaction, but you get a very different reaction. It's more like, "Oh my God, you're Amber Rose. Can I get a picture?"
Right.
It's not like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. What's your name? Where are you
Right.
from?" Like, they already know.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know why you're coming over to talk to me.
Right. No, I could totally
It's not
understand
the
that.
same energy.
I remember like going to strip clubs back in the day, and like there would always be just that one girl that everybody was kind of waiting to get on stage, like the one girl who just happened to be like the hottest girl in the club. I feel like that was probably you for a while before you sort of like broke out of that and just got into the entertainment
I was
industry
always
in
the
general.
hottest girl in the club.
Right.
I feel like. I mean, I just had, but I also was a dancer at a time where you had to audition. Like, you had to be a really bad bitch to get in the club. And this is before Instagram and shit. So, like, once girls became, like, Instagram models, strip clubs kind of went downhill because it was like, we need girls to work here. So we'll pretty much take whoever we can get.
Right.
Because all the bad bitches are on Instagram making money.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about how much Instagram and now OnlyFans has kind of like taken all the power in that regard and put it in the hands of the performers or the girls.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's
Oh,
cool. Yeah. You get to kind of do your own thing on your own time.
I know girls who have like 10, 15,000 followers who are making like $15,000 a month off OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is crazy to me because that's not a lot of followers, but they're clearly like monetizing the fuck out of the followers that they
Right.
do have.
Right.
And when you think about that dollar amount in comparison to like the average person who starts stripping, I mean, the fact that you get to do that and you don't have to leave your house and you can just hook up with your boyfriend or just take photos of
Right.
yourself or whatever. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable, this change that
Yeah,
we're
like
seeing.
my husband literally is the creative director of all my OnlyFans
Okay.
stuff. Like,
Interesting.
he just thinks it's cool. He loves that I love him, but I still have my freedom to do what I want.
Right, because the last night when we were checking out your OnlyFans or like looking into your Instagram and his Instagram, I'm like, oh shit, he got her link in his bio. That's some real
Tight.
support right there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's dope though. What made you actually decide that you wanted to do it? I'm assuming you probably thought it was like too porny for you to do it for a period of time, and then you.
No, I was pregnant.
Oh well, that
And
makes
then
sense
I was
too,
like
yeah.
chunky after the baby. I kind of wanted to feel comfortable again and work out, and I would have done it much sooner.
Right.
Yeah, I just wanted to, like, be ready for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too because like a lot of like the stripping thing, I mean, as you get to be a bigger and bigger name, that just becomes way more difficult to pull off. Like all of a sudden, like a really famous chick in the strip club just seems like there's a lot that could go wrong with that.
For sure.
Whereas you expressing
Dangerous.
yourself through the OnlyFans is like it's 100% your control of how you want it to be put out there and stuff.
Yeah. I love it. It's fun.
Definitely.
I love watching the money go up. Like, I love refreshing the page and watching the money go up. It's tight.
Yeah, I could imagine that. It's probably pretty good. Yeah, I'm yet to break into the OnlyFans game, but me and her, we have a new thing. We'll give you a sneak peek of it before you leave because
Okay.
we're pretty excited about it. But yeah, so I was wondering about that, like in terms of the advice that you would give to somebody who was at that stage, because like when you were just stripping, like how did you think of your life at that point? Like, were you convinced that that was just the thing that you wanted to be doing, or were you trying to parlay that into something bigger or different?
Well, at the time when I was stripping, it was the best time of my life.
Really?
Let me just say that. Yes, it was the best time of my life. Not that my kids are a burden or anything, but I didn't have children. I was free. If I wanted to sleep at a friend's house on their couch or like kind of just be a nomad and do whatever I want, it was just a fun time. And I was making really good money. Like,
Amber Rose is rich. She doesn't need to do an OnlyFans. So in the clip that you've seen there, kind of at the tail end of the clip, Amber Rose speaks to one of the happiest moments of her life was when she was stripping. right? You know, she had freedom. She can kind of, and I get that. I'm sure she's not just saying, you know, being up on the pole and getting naked in front of strangers was just this amazing thing. Although she did say that the looks that she would get is something totally different than being famous. And clearly she misses that gaze from a stranger, right? So I say all that to say this isn't something that she needs to do. Like, she already has money. And the reason why I don't think it's a good idea that she does this is because she has kids, right? And on top of that, she has 2 boys. What does that say?
Right.
What does that say? So that basically more or less says, hey, my little guy. And by the way, I'm not trying to say that Amber Rose isn't a good mom. I'm sure she's a great mom. I'm not trying to say she isn't a good wife. I'm sure she's a great wife. All I'm trying to say is there is a very clear, undoubtable message that is being sent to her children, which is, hey, it's okay to objectify women. Women can use their body, as you mentioned in our last podcast, as currency. I just think that if you are going to do it, it should be the come up. You know what I mean? The stepping stone. Right. So it's like Amber Rose already went through the stripping. She was actually in the club. And then she got out of that. She was on runways, but she's out of that. She's good. And then she wants to go back. That's like a rapper coming from the hood, makes it out of the hood, is good now, even gives back to the hood, but says, you know what? I feel like banging today. I'm going to put my flag on and catch a body.
Yeah. Well, to speak to, obviously, the question, as a mother, if this is good, especially when you don't need the money or anything like that specifically, the way she was speaking so comfortably in the clip that you sent me, I mean, it's a clear sign to how she was raised herself, or not raised, or just how things were missing. You know what I mean? Because there's just certain people that if you just are raised a certain way, it was really comfortable the way she was speaking. Like, it was a normal thing for her. You know what I mean? So it didn't seem like in her world, the world that she lives in, the world that she exists, there's nothing wrong with this.
Right.
Like, she literally feels that in her body, you know. We look at that from the outside and are saying, you know, this is obviously a mother, she has sons and all of those things. And we're going to obviously question it because we were brought up differently.
Right.
We were brought up in a different circumstance, different environment. You know what I mean? So I think for this one, it's like to each their own, man. I don't like touching it when it comes to other people's children because you're free to raise your kids however you want.
100%.
The people that
Agreed.
The people that they turn out to be is going to be the people that they turn out to be. Now, me personally, let's get to my feelings now that I spoke on it generally. I think it's horrible the way that she spoke about it. I think that's horrible. I think as a mother, that's something that you shouldn't do. Obviously, she already has things on the internet that are going to be seen, but it's like Kim Kardashian too. Like, eventually, if they haven't already, your kids are going to see the things and how you came up and all of these things. So, like, why add to it?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, why add more onto it? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. And then, especially since it's boys, like, they're gonna have friends who are guys.
Yep.
Their whole life.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if anything ever goes wrong, it's as simple as Google, and I'm gonna bring up pick up your mom, and I'm gonna put that on display, and it's a wrap. So this is something that could come back to hurt her in the future. But I think right now she's just thinking about herself.
This obviously has to be something she thought about because let's not forget that she organizes the slut walk, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, she's extremely sex positive, which again, you know, that's fine. You're okay. You could do that, right? And it's true. I'm a father. I would hate this for somebody to tell me how to raise my kids. And I'm not suggesting, like I said at the beginning, I'm not suggesting that she's a bad mom. All I'm saying is there's repercussions to everything you do. You know, she's doing this because it makes her feel good, and that's fine. Do you, boo? But there will be repercussions for this. I promise you. I promise you. Now, how she raises her kids, she might raise her kids where, like, if one of their male friends, when they get older, tries to throw this up in their face, she might raise her kids to be like, yeah, and my mom is not a prude. My mom's hot. So what? You wish your mom looked like mine. She might raise her kids to just respond exactly like that. But anyways, my opinion, Dre's opinion, your opinion is the one that counts. Do leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, this is a touchy one. I thought this would have been something I could send over to Dre and we'd just be like, have a little fun with it. But as the conversation progressed, I'm like, oh shit. Am I actually, trying to tell somebody how to mother their kids? And
a little guilty, huh?
So this is a bit of a touchy one, but hey, let me know how you guys feel, man. Two Guys Do the Podcast. We out.